Welcome everybody to the Daily Dizzle for Friday, December 2nd, 2011. I am your host, Tom Denardi. This is episode number 100, so whether this is your first time checking us out, or whether you popped in from time to time to see what we have to talk about, just want to give a big thank you to you all. Especially a big thanks to our good friend Ryan, Renegator DTA. He's done some very good PR work trying to spread the word. He just, in general, tries to bring attention to, if it's not his videos, just entertaining videos all across YouTube. Definitely give him a look. You can check him out at youtube.com/RenegatorDTA. We wouldn't be here without him, so special thanks to him. We got some headlines to get to, and we also have a look at the weekend box office. The weekend after Thanksgiving is infamous for being a barren wasteland where the previous holdovers tend to drop real big, and not too many new movies come out, so we'll try and give our guesstimates as to where everything's going to place this weekend. But before that, Wednesday we were talking about Survivor and whether Cochran had a chance of making it through the episode, and obviously he didn't. So no matter what Cochran did this season, he was going to be screwed and not going to make it that far. So hopefully, I know a lot of people like Ozzy, and I do too, and he's probably going to slaughter Cochran on Redemption Island. But I'm going to just, pray, wear my pajamas inside out, cross my fingers, whatever I have to do. Hopefully Cochran will stay in the game a little longer. And even if he doesn't, it's going to be very interesting to see how the other jury members react to his presence for the rest of the season. Now to get to some entertainment headlines. First, any fans of the upcoming Star Trek movie are in for some good news, as Alice Eve, who you might recognize from the last season of Entourage, and She's Out of My League as the lead hot girl in it, is going to be playing a brand new character to the Star Trek franchise. A lot of people thought she might be resuming one of the old characters that was going to be brought in for the second one, but she's going to be an all-new character. Fanboys haven't been this excited since it was rumored that she was going to be in X-Men First Class as Emma Frost. They almost had a collective shit fit because of her good looks. So, obviously, whatever sexiness was in the first Star Trek, which there was a decent amount, going to be amped up for the second one. Not to mention Benicio del Toro is in discussions to be the bad guy, and that's just awesome. A lot of people hated Eric Bana from the first one. I thought he did a fantastic job, at least with the material he had. But Benicio del Toro is one of those guys, you hear his name, you know he's going to do a good job. Other remakes, reboots of sort. Evil Dead remake is officially going to be released by Sony Pictures. Now, while it's great that the picture's finally picking up steam and that we will, at the end of the day, get to see Evil Dead on the big screen again, I'm very hesitant to give it full approval due to the fact that Diablo Cody is the scriptwriter on it. Sure, she won Oscars for Juno, but I do not want to hear any hip dialogue like that coming out of my Evil Dead characters. But at the same time, the original Evil Dead really wasn't known for having any great dialogue. So, she could be good, but at the same time, if anything sucks in the movie, I am giving her full blame of it. Now we're going to jump in with our weekend estimates for the box office. As we said, the weekend after Thanksgiving isn't very lucrative of a time. If there's any movies that do come out, they tend to bomb. Last year in the same weekend, The Warrior's Way came out, which was the Western, samurai, stylized film that no one went and saw. As it's been a tradition for the last couple of years, it's either been a Harry Potter or a Twilight movie that has held the reins through Thanksgiving, and then usually experiences a big drop off the following week. So Twilight's probably going to have at least a 65% drop, considering that's about right on with what the last Harry Potter and the last Twilight around Thanksgiving did. So that will put it around $14 or $15 million. Could be first place. I'm going to peg it at second, though, only because the Muppets came out last weekend. Family movies do drop a little bit too, but can at least exhibit a better hold on the box office. I expect the Muppets to be around $14.5 million, maybe in the 15, 16 range. I'm hoping at least that they hold up a little better because I prefer the Muppets over vampires any day. It is interesting to note, though, that there are no wide new releases this week. There is one indie flick that is making waves. The movie Shame. It's rated NC-17 and a lot of fucked up things in it, but it's trying to make a stake in the Oscar season race. But for the rest of the top 10, here's our best guesses on it. Last week there were two Christmas movies that came out, Hugo and Arthur Christmas. A lot of the time they'll release Christmas movies in November so they can play all throughout December and have longer legs. So even though normally 40% is about the lowest you'll see for a drop of a movie, I'm pegging those two to be in the 20 to 30% range. My guess is number 3 is going to go to Hugo, around 8.5, maybe 9 million, somewhere in that range. Arthur Christmas, about 8.5, but still, I expect it to come in lower than Hugo. Number 5, I'm going to guess Happy Feet 2. It is not doing well compared to the previous one. The studio that worked on it, out of their 700 employees, had to lay off 600 of them this past week. Best case scenario, it drops 50%. It puts it about 6.5 million. Outside of the top 5, it gets a little hard to pick, but for number 6, we're picking The Descendants. It's George Clooney's latest film. It's getting a lot of Oscar buzz, as George Clooney always gets around Oscar season. The past couple weeks, it first started off in a couple dozen theaters, and then last week made the jump to a few hundred theaters, where it made an impressive $7 million. But indie flicks, sometimes as they expand, it doesn't mean that they're going to keep jumping up in their box office growth. So we'll take a safe estimate, even if it drops a little bit. Still make about $6 million for the weekend, thanks to good word of mouth. Number 7, we're going to pick Jack and Jill, Adam Sandler's latest, which is not nearly as good as any of the old Adam Sandler movies. So we'll peg it at a 60% drop for around $4 million for the weekend. At number 8, we're picking Tower Heist, so we'll say, even if it drops 50% from its amazing no drop last week, that still puts it at about $3.5 million. Number 9, we're picking Puss in Boots. Now that there's a lot of family movies out, it's going to drop off a little bit, so we're going to pick about a 60% drop for that. Comparable to the last DreamWorks animation movie that was out in November, Megamind had a 60% drop in the post-Thanksgiving weekend. And rounding out the top 10, we're going to guess Immortals. We're going to expect it to lose about 2/3 of his business for the weekend, and we're going to have it round out the top 10 with about $3 million. But that is all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for joining us here as always. Be sure to check back after the weekend, subscribe to us to keep up on all our latest videos, and once again, don't forget to check out our good friend Ryan, Renegader DTA's YouTube channel, youtube.com/RenegaderDTA. He does a very good Renegade roundup, just takes things from all over the internet. Not everything is going to be your cup of tea. At the very least, you will definitely find something to keep you entertained while you're waiting for us to return. So, that's it for today. Thanks for joining us. For the Daily Dizzle, I'm Tommy Dizzlemits. We will see you guys back here Monday.